Hello, guess who's on time for a change? Hopefully the sound's working this time. Actually, you know what, I'm going to double check that by having a listen. Hopefully the sound's working this time. Last week, I spent about 10 minutes talking before realising, or maybe not, 5 minutes before realising that the microphone wasn't actually picking up anything I said. So that was fun. So, Grogan, hello. I had a feeling you'd be the first one to speak because you're always here first. What was I going to say? Yeah, I did a very long motion capture session, not this weekend, but the weekend before, for multiple chapters. So I'm still going through a lot of the data. I've been putting it to good use. If you check out the community page on the channel, you'll see that I made a lot of progress in the last 2 weeks on the Empire, across again multiple chapters. So a lot of it's down to this motion capture. So I've still got more data to go through, which is what I'm going to do tonight. This time it's for chapter 22, which is of course the next one. FTL Design Bureau, welcome, and Director Spirit. Long live the Empire. The Empire did nothing wrong. Yeah, I agree. Alderaan had it coming. And my day is okay. Posted off Christmas cards. Got work done. Not that exciting, but I'm pleased with the way it went. Right, so I need to load up some animation data. This is not what you see here, is not what we're going to be working on. This, however, is. It's for the second scene in chapter 22, and it's for card. So what I do is I use the motion capture suite built-in, or not built-in, software that comes with it to record the data, and then I have to go through this whole process of importing it into iClone. I can directly record to iClone, but I find the results aren't as good. Obviously it's quicker because it goes straight into iClone, but this way I feel you get better results, even though it's a bit more work getting the data in. It's worth taking the extra time. So just setting it to a format that iClone will read, understand, and just watch it through. For some reason the foot sensor is, I need to have a look at that because it keeps twisting around. Pretty dude, thank you so much. I'm glad you like the results. Just wait till you see the upcoming chapters. I mean, I've got all the footage now for 27, which I haven't edited it together, so it's not complete, but I've got all the footage there. And I'm not going to release it out of order, but I'm really excited for you guys to see what's coming and just the way it looks. Of course there's no sound because it's just the motion capture data, and it's just this little skeleton model, so you're not actually seeing card. Also, I'm not using the full gloves anymore, I'm just using the basic ones. I think the problem with the motion capture suit is that it's 6 years old, and I've used it a lot. So there are issues with the gloves, the full gloves that had all the finger movement. So I know at some point I'm going to have to replace the suit and get one of the newer ones, which is not something I'm looking forward to. But this movement looks pretty good. And that's the end of the clip. It goes back to the T-pose at the end and beginning. Have you seen the trailer for The Last of Us show? I did. I watched it the other day. It looks very impressive. Pedro Pascal is obviously going to be typecast as someone who looks after valuable children. Have you ever read Luke Skywalker and the Shadows of Mindor? Look that book up. I've read lots of books. I can't remember them all. Let me have a look. You know, I don't think I have. I don't know why I never got around to reading this one. Is it worth reading? Right, so yeah, that's done. So I just popped up the export into iClone window, which doesn't appear to be showing up on the stream, but it is there. Sending that in. Okay, next one. Same thing, this time for Han. That's high praise being compared to those books. Alright, let's watch through this one. Again, foot issue. I did notice a little glitch just now, and his leg just did that. Those are things I will fix once the animation is in iClone. I can't do it here. But yeah, I think I'm going to have to start investigating the possibility of a newer motion capture suit, because there are obviously issues with these sensors in this old one. I don't know if I can fix them. We'll see. It's weird because even though I only have the basic glove with one sensor just to get the hand position, I still, when I'm performing the scene, I will do the full finger movement for whatever it is, and then I also forget that the data is not being captured, so I still have to animate the hands manually when I need it up. As you can see, Han is doing so much here. If you look really closely, this is his head, and it was moving around a little bit. Of course now it's got to the end of the sequence, so he's not going to move around anymore. There we go. This is where he's looking at different people. Yep, I'm happy with that one. So we'll send that in. Okay, load up the next one. These scenes, this data is all for the same scene, and there's a lot of characters in it. Again, convert to non-standard character. Maya, convert. Yep. Let's have a watch through. This is Lando. What's your favourite Legends books? Well, obviously the Thrawn trilogy would be quite high up on the list. But I'd say at the top of the list. So let's not include them because it's too easy an answer. I'm going to have to go with the Hand of Thrawn books. Because I like the whole concept of the Empire faking the return of Thrawn. And they could have done it with Vader or the Emperor too. But obviously I prefer anything to do with Thrawn. So basically they faked the return of Thrawn to try and rally support. And the whole Camus document plot to destabilize the New Republic. It's just a really good story. As far as non-signed books goes, I'd have to say the X-Wing books are my favourite on my list of favourites, and iJedi. I did really enjoy reading through the New Jedi Order when that was released. I don't know if I'd want to read it again though, because it is 19 books, and when they were being released, maybe 3 a year, it's quite easy to keep up with. But to sit down and read the whole thing again now is quite a daunting task. Right, I'm happy with Lando. Again, he doesn't really do it. This is not the most action-packed scene. Right, you guys are going to get your first look at Ghent. At least what he does. Which is, of course, going to be shown in this skeleton here. His appearance is based on... I've designed the character model already. His appearance is based on how he looked in the Heir to the Empire comic, because that's the only real visual reference I had for him. And apparently he had a similar look to him when he was a background character in Galaxies, but I never played that game. I guess I did a couple of times, but I never really got into it. Never met him in the game. So I found a screenshot, but I think the comic is a better reference. And he doesn't look that different in the game. Some clipping issues here. That always happens. But again, once this data is in iClone, it's an easy fix. I don't know why the leg's twisted like that, because when I sat down, I did not sit down like that. But again, I can fix the legs easily when I'm in iClone. Floopy, hello, welcome. This is your first look at Ghent in SD Empire, at least his motion capture data. So I missed the last stream, what's going on? I did a really massive motion capture session 2 weekends ago for multiple chapters. So I'm going through all the data. I'm happy with that one. So this is for the second scene in chapter 22, which is the next chapter. I really like the concept of the warlords trying to reform the empire. I did that too. I thought that would actually make a pretty good video game if each player controlled one of the warlords, and the idea was to defeat the other warlords and then take on the New Republic and defeat them as sort of the final enemy. But of course you have to take out the other warlords first, because they'd be undermining you, trying to... And of course you don't want to fight war on two fronts against the other warlords and the New Republic. What program is this? This is called 3D Exchange. It's another piece of software that goes with iClone. It's used to bring in content, which can be objects, or in this case it's motion capture data, so that I can then animate the characters. Somebody X, hello, welcome. Haven't seen you for a while. I hope you're doing well. Joshua Starnes, hello. Right, so that's Ghent. Mara is next. So basically the process is, I load up the file. I need to set it to the character type profile. I guess this is to show what kind of bones are set up. So when you've got a character model in 3D software, there's hidden bones that you can use to animate the character. And there's all kinds of different ways to set it up. So this lets me select the motion capture data and apply the Maya preset, because that's the one that works. There's several others on the list, but Maya is the one that works with this motion capture data. So I do that. It takes a moment, and then we watch through. There we go. That's in the back. There we go, the front. This is Mara. It was actually me performing all of this movement from all the characters we've seen so far, and the ones still to come as well. I have to say that when you've got a lot of characters all doing similar things, it's very hard to come up with ways to make it different. Again, she's sat slightly lopsided. I didn't do that, but I can fix it easily once the data is in iClone. Mara's always very judgy. Just watching through it to just get an idea of how it looked. Apart from the leg issue, which I said is easy to fix, this is looking pretty good. A couple of the characters have had some leg issues like that. But again, it's something that takes a couple of minutes to fix in iClone, so I'm not too worried about it. Other than it's a sign that the motion capture suit I've got probably won't last much longer. Okay, she kind of walked away in a funny way, but we'll see what we can do with that. So that's ready to go in, so just export that to iClone. Chin. That's a special alien walk. I wonder if I could get her to do it through the jungle. Right. This is Chin's movement. Leg twitch there. That's annoying, but an easy fix. It's a special alien walk to blend in with the crowd. You know, given the number of aliens that live in the Star Wars galaxy, that makes a lot of sense. So I've actually got him eating things. So he's actually doing something. And now he's not. Once this is actually applied to the proper character model, it will seem a little bit more interesting. Because there are some subtle movements, and of course you can animate the face, and he's eating again. Just have him eating in every scene. Some potential there. I'll have to go back and work on his previous scene where he showed up and have him eating something. See how elaborate you can make it. Oh dear. That's going to be a challenge, trying to figure out the more and more elaborate ways to make the eating animations. Yeah, it's because she's half brother, so I like Servo and Scoundrels. Yeah, that's another book I need to read again. I really enjoyed Scoundrels. Different from what Zion normally writes, but it was a very enjoyable read. I think he had a lot of fun doing something different. So just exporting that. He brings in full roast dinner. I can just see him doing that on the bridge of the wild card. Alright, last one. This is a character called Wade Warren. I had completely forgotten his existence And when I was going through the script again, I thought maybe I should just skip him out because he doesn't say anything. I never heard him again. So I checked the Wikipedia article about him, and this is his only scene he appears in all of Star Wars. I thought, do I really need to put him in because he doesn't do anything? It's another character to render, and then there's a bit at the bottom where it said that he was named after a fan who won a contest, and so Timothy Zahn put him in the book because that was the prize. And I thought, I have to put him in now because of that. I have no idea what the fan looks like. There's no picture of the character either, so I guess I've got a bit of freedom to do something there. But yeah, we'll see what I come up with for that. I haven't thought about his appearance really. Apparently it's his favourite Star Wars book he's written. I could see that. I remember being at Dragon Con when he was talking about it. And then the next year it got released, so I read it on the plane, or at least half of it, and he gave me a plate. Wait a minute, how does this work? One of his books, he gave me this plate because it hadn't been released yet, and he was signing those with the idea that they could be stuck in the book when it was released. Maybe that was Scoundrels. Yeah, it might have been, because it was one of his Mara Jade books I read on the flight. That was it. Because it got released a few weeks before Dragon Con. I thought, I'm going to buy the book, save it, read it on the plane. And I read about half of it on the flight. And the idea was I'd read the other half on the way back. But of course, it's a nighttime flight, so I fell asleep. But he did sign that one. And it was good because I'd been there the year before and he talked about the book. So, that, yeah. I've only ever read a few pages of Scoundrels. How come you haven't read the rest of it? Anakin Skywalker, hello. Okay, so that's all the motion capture data processed through the exchange. So what I need to do now is bring it into iClone. But I'm not going to do all of it because it takes a long time to fix all the errors. Like, I know I said it's easy, but because there's so much data and I have to go through it multiple times, it can get a little bit time consuming. So what I might do is just do one, maybe two. So what I'm going to do now is close this, which means the screen is going to go blank until I load up iClone. I always give you guys a heads up when I'm doing that, so you don't worry that the stream has stopped, because it hasn't. It's just that it's not picking up any software. So let's do that. Hold on. Scoundrels was really good, but this isn't a spoiler. Actually, hang on, let me load up iClone before I catch up with the comments. That takes a few minutes, so. Right, Scoundrels is a very good book. This isn't a spoiler. One of the characters, Scoundrels' name is there, but he's humanoid who is almost a human but has antenna. A bit like an Andorian in Star Trek. Karkatan, big fan of the Jedi Knight games. Actually, not sure why I didn't finish it. Well, there you go. You can. It's a Timothy Zahn book in the old Expanded Universe timeline that you haven't finished, so that's something to look forward to going back to. Right, iClone's loaded. Let me just set it to capture. that was unhelpful. Hold on a second. There we go. There's a little splash screen that loads up, and it decided to capture that rather than the software itself. But hopefully you can see iClone. So let's see. Which character shall we do? Helps from looking in the right place for the character models, which I wasn't. Let's go with card. So if I find the character model, the character model is there. Just letting him in. My favourite Star Wars are probably Thrawn Trilogy and Han Thrawn, but I have a soft spot for Black Fleets because I don't think they're great Star Wars books, but also sci-fi war books. Yeah, I completely forgotten about the Black Fleet Crisis. Just looking for the file. There we go. Let's drag it onto him, and that should bring it in. The data. So let's have a look. There we go. See, there's a few issues here, like the hand's clipping his leg. Yeah, hold on. You have to set the project length. If you get it too short when you bring in the data, it just kind of stops. But the data is there, about there. Carry on. So yeah, his leg's twisted in a funny direction. I may or may not fix it. Part of the reason I may not is because there's going to be a table here, so you're not going to see his legs anyway. Just watching through, again, not the most exciting thing happening. There are issues that need to be fixed, like his head's tilting at a weird angle, his hand clipped through his body when he is getting something out of his pocket. Arms clipping again, because that seems to be the most common problem, is arms clipping, and that's the end of the scene. Okay, I am going to save the project. Probably not going to finish this character tonight because I am getting tired, but this is kind of the process I have to go through to bring in hold on a second, let me save. There we go. This is the kind of the process I have to go through to bring in the motion capture data, and I've got to do it for every character, which can be, it's not difficult, it's just not interesting to do lots in one go. But I hope you guys enjoyed it this evening. I think I might stop the stream here because it's getting late and I'm realizing I'm a lot more tired than I thought it would be. The process here is to go through the character animation, fix the issues like when his arm was clipping his body, any twitching and so on. Also to trim off the T-pose at the beginning and end. If you want to see how that works, go back and check last week's video. Because I've been doing that last week as well. The motion capture, different scene from this, but it needs to be done for every scene that I've done the motion capture for, and of course still got plenty more to do later on in the series, which I'm looking forward to. Again, for those who missed me saying at the beginning, on the community page of this channel I posted the progress report of the last 11 chapters of Heir to the Empire. It's the second report. The previous one was 2 weeks ago. Thanks to the big motion capture session, I had a lot of progress made between the two, across multiple chapters. I've got all the footage rendered for chapter 27 now. I haven't edited it together, and even if I did, I'm not going to release it out of order. So the next one will be 22 no matter what. But yeah, check out the community page and you'll see the progress report there, for all the details of what's been going on. So yeah, I think I'm going to head to bed. Let me just catch up with the chat. What about Padme Amidala Force Ghost? I'm not sure what you mean there. The character's one off dresses in it, and like some. Yeah, I don't remember much about it at all. He's doing the alien walkthrough. Yeah, quite possibly. I'm glad you enjoy hearing from me. He's playing us on an airplane. It does actually look like that. The T-pose. Maybe I should have him add some running animations, but still keep his arms out, so it looks like he's running along as a plane. I don't think I have any of those offhand, but I'll have to have a look. So yeah, that's it for me. I will see you all next time, and may the throne be with you.